Hey friends, it's Sin. I'm back to do another review. This time it is for Married at First Sight Season 11, Episode 1. This one is called The Story Begins. Let's discuss Married at First Sight. So, first of all, they film these seasons really quickly. This just ended, 2 months ago? And now we have a new season to start. So insane how quickly they get these filmed. So I'm just like, whoa, Lifetime. With the, pandemic going on, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get them done as quickly anymore. But let's get into what's going on in this mess, okay? This whole hot mess. All right, so we're going to start off with Bennett and Amelia. So we know that Bennett has like a bunch of jobs. I think he does like some type of construction work. He's like that little bike rider cabbie person, and he also does theater. So he has a lot of jobs, like working artist, doesn't have too much money. That's him, weird and quirky, and they pair him with Amelia, who is a doctor, who is also weird and quirky and would like someone who would want to stay home while she works and they would raise their children. So I don't think the experts, in quotes, because these people are not experts, I don't think they did a bad job when they put them together. Like, these two people are kind of strange, a little offbeat. They would go well together. They would understand each other's strangeness, their awkwardness, and it would be fine. So I think it's okay if they put them together. But we do know that Bennett is like, yeah, I've always been strange. Like, I talk to inanimate objects and all that. And I'm like, all right, Bennett, do you? That make you happy? Talk to your objects. So we know that Bennett, I think he just hasn't had a lot of good relationships or haven't had many. And we know that Amelia says like she basically falls in love all the time. She's like, oh, I fall in love every day. And I think she seemed more like in a hippie vibe, like, oh, love everything. But that actually could end up being a problem if that's somebody who falls in love so easily, because I feel like people who fall in love so easily may possibly fall in love easily. So we'll see what happens with that. So besides us just being introduced to them, then we see them and they're going to pick out their wedding gear, and Bennett goes with his friends and he doesn't know what to wear. He wants to wear this little crazy looking hat. And his friend's like, nah, that looks crazy, Bennett. Do not do it. So he does not wear the hat. And he's really just like, oh, I just don't have any fashion sense. And I'm like, is he serious? Because when he arrived, he is serious. But when he arrives to try out his tux, his outfit was actually cute. So I actually think he does have fashion sense. He just doesn't realize it. But I think his fashion sense is actually nice. So it's funny how he thinks he doesn't dress well, but he has no sense of fashion. With that hat, he did not. But his actual clothes that he was wearing, adorable. Like, that was a cute outfit. So he just needs some confidence in himself. And his whole style and his outfit and his glasses, he actually looks like, the superhero when before they're actually like in costume, before they even realize they're a superhero. Kind of like a Peter Parker who's just like walking around. I'm a little geeky and strange. Like, he kind of looks like that to me. He looks like the awkward superhero. And then he puts on his tux and he looks really nice, So he's like an awkward superhero, right? That's the vibes I got from him. I wonder if anybody else was thinking this, because I'm like, I'm crazy. I just be thinking the craziest things. But that's what I was thinking about Bennett. But I honestly think he seems like a nice person, and I do actually like him. Then the rest of the things we see with Amelia, she goes to pick out her dress as well. And she's like, yeah, I need something really floofy. I want it to be normal, and it has to look like that. And the shop person supposed to be helping her is looking at her like, girl, this girl is strange. Her face is hilarious the way she's looking at her. She's just like, all right, I'll give you floofy, but get it together. Now, she's probably looking at her like that because Amelia need to brush her hair. I don't like being rude. I don't. And she could be as offbeat and happy and off in la-la and jumping around and like being awkward. That's all fine. But girl, you gotta brush the hair because it doesn't look good. Because Bennett is awkward and everything else looking strange like her. His hair is brushed and he looks put together. I'm gonna need Amelia to get it together a little bit for me. Just a little bit, okay? That's what I'm gonna need. But that is it for Bennett and Amelia. Then us initially meeting them and then seeing them both try on their tuxes and their wedding dresses. Then there's Karen and Miles. We know Karen is 30 and Miles is 26. And initially when they said this, I was like, I don't know. Married at First Sight doesn't have a good track record when they pick younger men for older women. Not that 30 is old, because it isn't. But he's 4 years younger than her, and that usually doesn't work out. But we find out that Miles seems like a really nice guy. I think that the experts actually did a good job. I think the experts did a good job when they picked him, because he seems like a very nice, well-rounded, solid man who really wants to be in a relationship, and I don't see any phoniness with him. So I feel like that was a nice job when they picked him. I can't remember what his job is, what he says, what his job is, but he just seems like a really nice person. Also, cute. So Karen should be lucky because cute. That's what I was thinking as soon as I saw him. So we know that Karen has actually been in previous relationships where she's been cheated on, and that she's more of a introvert. And when the both of them tell people that they're actually matched, they get opposite reactions. So Karen tells her mother looks pretty upset. She does not look happy about it at all. When Miles tells his grandparents, so they're so sweet, they're like, oh, they're so happy they're gonna come to the wedding. So that's really nice for them. And then just like the other couples, we see them go when they get their tux and dresses for the wedding. But we see that Karen the whole time, even when she's trying to get her dress for the wedding, that she's really like, oh my gosh, like I don't know if I want to do this. She's having a lot of cold feet, and she's really afraid about getting married. And I don't think it's weird because like it's married at first sight. Number one, it's crazy to get married and not know who the other person is. Number two, you put your faith in the hands of experts who do things that are ridiculous. She's putting her faith in the hands of experts who have a track record of picking trash people on this show. So I actually don't see it as weird that she's very afraid of this thing, because people get cold feet even when they get married, like on a reg. So I don't even see it as like really bad. So I was just like, all right, she had a little cold feet, she's gonna get it together, but it'll be fine. So we do see like some other drama going on when they're about to start the weddings, but I'm gonna talk about the wedding section kind of later and just go through each couple. Next, it is Olivia and Brett. So Olivia is 30 and Brett is 35, and they say that Brett is a serial dater. Like once I saw that title, I said, oh, y'all played yourself Lifetime. Y'all played yourself Experts, and y'all know this man don't belong on this show. Like we just know he don't. So I'm gonna start off with Olivia. She seems like a really nice person. She seems kind of timid, you know, she really wants to find love, and she really wants acceptance even from her mother in this situation. Her mother doesn't seem too happy about her getting married, which really does hurt Olivia's feelings, but they seem to, like, as the episode go on, her mother's getting a little more okay with this whole man at first sight thing. And what's bad is that they got her matched with trashy Brett, which is just gonna have her mother probably be like, you should have never did this. You should have never did it. So Brett is basically like, oh yeah, I'm a serial dater. I dated like 45 people in 2 years. I'm trying to find the right person though. Like, stop playing with us. That's not what you're trying to do. You don't want to find the right person, and it's very obvious. And Lifetime also knows that he's not trying to find the right person. The experts also know. They just like drama, and it's trash though, because this person, Olivia, is real timid. She just seems like, you know, nice and quiet, and I just feel like they love setting people up for failure, and they love setting timid, non-confrontational people up for failure on the show, and it's disgusting, honestly, to me. They're just setting her up for a bad situation, and it's not right. So he just seems like the person that would lose interest, is definitely just on the show to just have fun. And yeah, Lifetime is trash for it. They're garbage, and I can't deal with it. I really can't. They really need to stop doing this, because I want to be entertained, but setting people up for failure is trash, and they shouldn't be doing this, you know? Like, anybody else was really mad when they saw this guy, because I really was. And then we just further see he just keeps proving why he's trash throughout the episode. But I'm going to get into all of everyone meeting each other separately, so it's not all weird. Then it's Amari and Woodrow. I think his name is Woodrow, or they keep calling him Wood. So it's Amari and Wood. And Amari is 29 and Wood is 30. So what's interesting is that Wood is best friends with Miles. So we have a best friend situation going on here. They've never done this in Married at First Sight history, so it's interesting they pick best friends, but really it becomes obvious that they just did this just so that they could get some type of extra drama kind of going on in the show. So Wood, it's very obvious that he should not have been picked. He is some type of person that just wants to date around a lot, like a Brett. And is just getting on the show just because he wants to, probably for some fame. And just to be like, oh, let me try out being married. But I don't think he sincerely wants to be married. Like, I just don't believe it. So this is another couple that the experts are being trashed because Wood should not be on the show at all. And Amari seems like a very nice, sweet person. She's adorable. And I just feel like they're just setting her up for failure yet again. And it's just making me mad. Like, why would you do this to people? They really be in here like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna try to find the love of my life. And people may be like, oh, they're stupid because they're in a reality TV show. And you know that Lifetime is doing that. We know they're trash. Lifetime is trash. But it's just like these people really putting their faith in them. And they really trust in them and try to pick somebody good for them. And y'all picked him. Who's like, oh yeah, I used to be an F-boy and now I've changed my ways and I just want to settle down. Like, who is believing this? Nobody. Like, nobody believes him. Like, I don't have time. I don't have time for the lies. I don't have time for the experts picking trash people, Wood and Brett, to be on the show for drama and to ruin people's lives, you know? Like, get it together. And Wood and Miles tell their friends together that they've both been picked for Married at First Sight. And the friends are like, oh yeah, Miles, this seems so good. You just seem like that type of person. You know, that would be great for you. And they like, Wood, you sure you want to get married? Like, that's not even your thing. And he's like, no, I want to settle down. This is going to be for life. Like, you know, those sweet talkers, but BSers, and I don't know how anybody don't see through it. That's what Wood is doing. I know that BS. So, like, stop. Just stop. Because we don't have time for it. We don't. So he wants to convince us that that's all gonna be good, but we just know it's not. Like, I don't have time. Between him and Brett, I'm done. Okay. Last match is Christina and Henry, and Christina is 30 and Henry is 34. They seem like a good couple. I just feel like they seem balanced. Henry has to work on his confidence because he said he used to be fat and lost weight and now he doesn't have confidence. They do seem like a solid match, so I feel like these are two people that could work. So we'll see, you know, if it does. But there's not much to say about Christina and Brett besides when they go to pick out their outfits for their weddings. Christina is so picky and she's like, no, I'm gonna see the perfect dress. I just know I am. And she just keeps trying until she finds the perfect one. And I feel like some people are gonna be like, oh, she's being ridiculous. But look, it's her wedding and she's gonna have to find the dress that she wanna wear. And when she does find it, that dress is so nice. It looks so good on her. So I think it was good that she kept being picky until she got the dress that she wanted. All right, that's it for all of the couples. But now I want to get into when everyone meets each other. Because, you know, for the past few seasons, Lifetime has been doing this whole couples are going to meet each other. They're going to have their bachelorette and bachelor parties together. So all the men meet. Woody and Brett are just being foolish. What the freak? I can't call him new names. His name is Woodrow. Let me call him Wood. I'm over here calling him Woody. Whatever. Woody and Brett are being foolish. They doing that whole, they just saying what they think pleases people and pleases women and looks appealing on TV. Woody is like, oh yeah, like kissing is way more intimate than sex. And it's just like, you gotta be so close to people. And oh, I just really believe that. And like, they're both being annoying, and Brett's like, yes, that is true. Yes, that is true. Trash men being trash together. That's all. You know, and it's just like, throughout the episode, we just like, okay, so why did y'all pick them, experts? Oh, right, because y'all garbage. Got it. Just like them. We understand. And we also see that Miles and Bennett like each other because they both know that they're genuine, and they actually are, they're like, oh, they seem like nice, solid people. So they both like each other. Besides that, at their bachelor parties, Brett is out flirting with people. He was flirting with the waitress at the bar. He asked Bennett, was his sister single? He was flirting with Henry's friends and being a real creep. He's being really close to one of Henry's friends, asking her questions, and she didn't want him next to her, and she was just like, you know, looking like, can you back up? And they actually remove themselves from next to him and they go outside because he's such a creep. So Brett is the worst person on the show. I hate him, and they really need to just get rid of him. Like, he shouldn't even be able to get married, honestly. It's ridiculous. Besides that, Brett actually disappears during the bachelor party. He kind of like gets in some type of car and nobody knows where he's at, and the rest of the guys end the night together. But nobody really knows what's going on besides that. It's a mess. Also, Brett gets insanely drunk. He is drunk out of his mind. And at one point, he also said, they say like, oh, what's gonna happen if you don't like what your wife looks like? And he's just like, oh, it's just not gonna work because you have to have attraction. And they were like, okay, what if your wife don't like what you look like? And Brett is like, oh, well, how would that happen? Look how I look. Boy, you're not even cute, number one. You're the worst looking person here. So you need to calm down. He somehow thinks he's like so handsome. Like, no, you're not. and you're annoying and you're trash. Yeah. And I hope that Olivia sees through his trashy ways very quickly and in this relationship fast, because she don't need to be in it. She really don't. At the bachelorette party, we see that Christina gets anxiety. So she leaves out of the party, and it probably was just overwhelming with everything going on. I thought it was weird. I don't think it's weird that she had anxiety and she wanted to leave out of the party for a little bit to take a breather and not be around like everybody with the strippers and dancing around. It's just like when she was like, I don't do this. I don't hang around a whole bunch of women. It's like, why'd you say women specifically? I just found that strange. That whole women that don't hang around women and be like, I don't have women friends. Women are annoying. Like, I don't know if that's what she was getting at, but she better not been, because then I ain't gonna like her. Okay? But yeah, their bachelorette party is like, they're just dancing around, people hanging out with the strippers, getting danced on. Nothing much going on at the women's bachelor party. Nobody's acting a fool and trying to date men. So theirs go fine. Then the last thing is that we just end up at the beginning of prepping for the weddings, and then we get this whole big reveal. So Karen somehow finds out who Miles is. Somebody sends us a message, and she finds out who he is, and she looks through his Instagram, looks at his Instagram stories, finds out everything about him, and now she's having cold feet before the wedding, and she's like, oh, I don't really want to marry him. And she's just like, oh, that wouldn't be the person I would pick for myself. He seems really emotional. That's fine for people to have a certain type, but girl, he cute. Like, you better go in there and get your man. Also, her saying he's emotional, I don't know, it was kind of annoying to me. Like, she's like, she wanted a good person that would be able to support her, and she wanted to be in a good relationship. People showing their emotions is very natural, and actually Cameron's been emotional the whole episode. She's like crying a lot. She doesn't know if she wants to do this marriage. She's showing a lot of emotions the whole episode, actually, and so is Miles, but he's like really excited about everything that's going on. So I just think it's really weird that she's just like, oh, he's too emotional. Like, okay, men can be emotional, girl, dang. Like, give him a chance, because he's a nice guy, and this would be nice. Y'all would be so cute together. Karen, get it together. Just ruining your future over types. Don't do it. Get married. Accept it. No. No, she really don't want to get married. She shouldn't. But I honestly think that this would work, and he's a nice person, and being emotional, in tune with your emotions, helps people be a better person because they express themselves better to you. So she thinks that's not what she wants, but would she want somebody that doesn't express themselves? No, that wouldn't be good. So we'll see what happens if she's gonna actually get married or not. I think she will, but that was like the whole cliffhanger for the episode. So I'm just gonna say who I think is gonna stay together and who's going to not stay together based off of this first episode. Okay, so I think Karen and Miles have a really good chance of staying together. So I'm gonna say Karen and Miles, even though she's kind of have cold feet right now, are going to stay together. Amari and Woody, no, not gonna work, obviously. Trash. Olivia and Brett, not gonna work. Don't see it happening. Bennett and Amelia, they're both really strange, and it seems like they would go really well together. I just have a feeling that Amelia is too strange for Bennett. Like, I just feel like there's something that's not gonna work for them. I don't think it's gonna be a toxic relationship like Olivia and Brett is gonna be, but I really do think that somehow it is gonna work and they're not gonna stay together. And then lastly is Christina and Henry. I think they'll stay together. So those are the people I think are gonna stay together and who's not gonna stay together. I'm so bad at this though. Like, I typically don't get it right, but we'll see when the season is over if I'm correct about who's gonna stay together and who's not. All right, y'all, that is my recap and review of Married at First Sight Season 11, Episode 1. It's the premiere episode. Who do y'all think is going to stay together and who is going to get, like, either break up or end up in a divorce? And who do y'all dislike the most? Brett, number 1 for me. Trash, Second would be Woody, because it's so obvious he doesn't belong in a relationship. Actually, Brett and Woody are going to be 2 and 3. Number 1 dislike is going to be the experts, because they're garbage and they should never pick these people. Experts. Like, at some point, are we gonna just fire them, or is Lifetime influencing their decisions? They want drama. I need somebody to tell me what's happening. So, number one trash people that I dislike is the experts, and then it's Brett, and then it's Woody. So y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll see y'all on my next one. Bye.